Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you come across this video and your location. Just wanted to show you guys how the base is faring. Okay, how the base is faring. These are already concreted ROC bases. All right, yeah, already stripped. These are already stripped formwork bases, so you can see the formworks. Okay, yeah. Now, the purpose of this is basically to create that connection between the base and the concrete starter. Okay, the connection between the base. This is the base area. All right. Now we are also going to have our starter. So definitely you have to create this roughened surface to be able to receive the concrete that comes for the starters. Okay, so all right, so back to what I was saying. Now you can see this roughened surface. This roughened surface here enables the keying of the concrete for the starter, because if you look at this base, this footing is made up of the base and the starter. Okay, this is the starter, the pedestal. This is the base. So you have to create this roughened surface to be able to receive the concrete for the pedestal. Okay, to create that bonding, that connection. All right, so that is the essence of this. So this base we are concluded yesterday, which will commence curing any moment from now. So I just wanted to update us on this current state of precast works. All right, precast works. These are already concreted bases. Okay, these are already concreted bases. All right, this is basically for pipe support. All right, we try as much as possible to ensure that we maintain quality control measures are observed in terms of concrete strength, in terms of the placement, the vibrations and all of that. We are done thoroughly to achieve the targeted strength. Okay, and this strength, the concrete grade here we adopted is C30. Okay, C30 grade. So as you can see how the bases are. All right, so this was done yesterday. These were done yesterday. Okay, they are yet to be stripped. Okay, they are yet to be stripped. Yeah, you can see these are the various bases. Okay, these are the various bases. So ongoing construction, we continue from where we stopped. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, you can see how they are faring. Now these are the formworks, the stripped formworks. Okay, stripped formworks. Now due to the sandy area, okay, this location is reclaimed. So first and foremost, before we started, we leveled the surface. We leveled the surface to create that leveled platform for the bases. Then we now laid our material, DPM, okay, so it can be able to retain water and also create a surface for the base, because these bases are expected to be lifted from this location into this location. Okay, so we decided to do it off-site. All right, but it's expected to be in this facility. So we need to create a surface, that will enable the installation to be done properly. Okay, now after the DPM was laid, we now used sharp sand to spread, along before we started the concreting. Now the essence of that sand is basically to create a connection between the blinded surface and there is the interface between the blinded surface and the bottom part of the base. Okay, that bottom part of the base has to be in a roughened state to be able to create that bonding. Okay, that effective bonding, because when you have a sandy area, all right, and you're having an isolated base footings like this, you discover that there is tendency of sliding. So you have to blind the surface, and the blinding of that surface, the area is usually larger than that of this footing. Okay, so for example, this footing is 900 by 900 millimeters. All right, so if you're doing the blinding to receive this base, it means that you're doing a blinding area of 1.2 by 1.2 meters. Okay, so that this footing can properly, be sighted, okay, and have that equilibrium maintained substructurally, because sandy soil, water influences the behavior of sand. All right, once there is water, liquefaction will take place, and that will have effect on the substructure. So we try as much as possible to provide the needed, you know, uh, uh, arrangement to be able to, create stability substructurally. All right, so then you can see we have the hooks. You can see the hooks. These are the lifting hooks. Okay, this will enable the lifting of these bases, from this location into this facility over here. All right, into this facility. So this is where we're expected to site these pipe supports. Okay, so we decided to we wanted to adopt in situ, but because of the facility, okay, it's more or less a live facility. So uh, we decided to do it off site. Then we are expected to lift it from this point, okay, to the designated points within the facility. Is meant to carry the pipes, okay, the different sizes of pipes. All right, so I decided to bring this our way so we can be able to uh, understand the purpose, okay, for all of this. Now, as you can see, we are here to concrete the pedestal. Okay, at the moment we are just waiting for our permits to be signed so we can commence. Over there we have the steel bar benders and the carpenters, okay, waiting to start assembling and also bringing out the already formed bases, for installation of reinforcements. All right, so just having our time, you know, waiting for our permits to be signed, because normally before we commence our daily activities here, permits has to be issued. Okay, permit has to be issued by the owners of this facility. Okay, because before we can start our work properly. Now, if we start without signing the permit, there is usually penalty. So we wouldn't want to have such. So just waiting for the permit to be signed. So as you can see, these are the various bases. Okay, these are the various bases. Yeah. Hmm. These are the various bases. Okay. Now these are already prepared formwork and starters to be concreted. Now if you look at the bottom, you see sand. We poured sand. Now this sand will enable us have a roughened surface, okay, which will now create that bonding effect, all right, that is required between the surface of this base and the blinded surface where it's expected to be installed. Okay, yeah. So these are the formwork. Some of the formworks are yet to be, positioned and reinforcement installed. All right. So yeah, these are yet. So before the concreting of this, we have to spread sand. We have to spread sand below, okay, all over. That sand will enable to create a roughened surface, because having this DPM, usually DPM creates a smooth finished surface, which which will not be good enough. So we decided to spread sharp sand. All right. So at the end of the day, during the lifting of this, bays, we will have to use maybe broom or a brush material to remove those sands. So by removing those sands, we will have a rough surface. Now that rough surface will create that required bonding, between the blinded surface and the base, so it can enhance stability. Yeah, it can enhance stability because there's tendencies of sliding and tilting. So when you have this done properly, you will see that it will help to create balance, substructurally. So these ones were done yesterday, as you can see. Yeah. So curing will commence any moment from now. We're just waiting for this 24 hours, and we have already casted the cubes for this. Okay, we've casted the cubes because samples were extracted, at pour mix. Okay, during the concreting, samples were extracted for our slump test and cubes. Okay, to determine the compressive strength. Okay, to determine the compressive strength. So, like I said, we are still waiting for the permit to commence the day's activities. All right, so stay connected to the Engineer Construction Lecture Hub. Updates will be coming your way. Basically, this is to create awareness on a better construction practice. Okay, so like I said, this is a facility, okay, that we are expected to do the installation. Okay, we are expected to install these, we are expected to lift at the end of the day once we have completed our concreting, okay, and our curing. All right, we are expected to now do excavation at the various designated points in the facility. Then we'll now have to, lift from this point down to the facility and install it properly. All right. So this is this is a precast. All right. So as we progress, the updates will be coming our way. All right. So stay connected to the Engineer Construction Lecture Hall. Yeah. So like I said, we are still waiting for our permits to be signed. All right, we are still waiting for our permits to be signed. Yeah, so you can see we are just still waiting for our permits, because before you start up construction, all right, in such a facility, there is need to be, these activities need to be approved by the facility owners. Okay, so once we start, we can immediately we start curing of this concrete. All right, some of them we are done yesterday, so we continue today. All right, we continue today. Continue today. Yeah. So you can see how the concretes are faring. You can see how they are faring. These are precast footings for pipe supports. Yeah. 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 So it's expected to be installed in this facility. All right. We are doing off-site. So these bases are expected to be installed in this facility. So we are doing a precast. So at the end of the day, once we have completed our work off-site, we have to now go to the facility proper. We have to coordinate the various points. All right. We coordinate the various points. Then we do our excavation, do our blinding based on the specification. All right. Based on the specification, we do our blinding. Then we start lifting. We start lifting these bases, okay, from this point to the facility, all right, to the various designated points. And those points has to be coordinated, all right, because as you can see, every platform in this facility has coordinates, okay? So it is those coordinates that defines their various points, okay? It is the coordinates that defines the various points of every concrete structures within this facility. All right. So prior to that, prior to the readiness of the coordinates of the various points where these pipe support are supposed to be situated, that is the more reason why we are doing a precast. Okay, so by the time we conclude with the work, with the precast work here, by then the coordinates for the various points will be ready. Okay, for us to start, setting out those points. Excavate, do our blinding, then we can now lift from here down to the facility. All right, so stay connected to the Engineer Construction Lecture Hub for more updates, valuable updates as regards to construction. All right, so as you can see, we are still waiting for our permits to come, so for us to commence. All right, yeah, yeah. All right, so I'm going to pause here for today. Want to start our toolbox meeting, okay, so we can be able to understand the do's and the don'ts at site, and also, get our work plan for today before commencement. So thank you very much for your time and do have a wonderful day. Bye.